Morning everybody, welcome to today's class. Wednesday already. I hope you're all having a lovely week so far. Let's get started. So today we're going to go straight into our breathing. So you're going to lay flat on your back with your knees bent, feet on the floor. You want to have that slight curve underneath your lower spine, just resting the arms down beside you. And we're taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as we're taking a nice deep breaths in, we want those hips to stay nice and level. So think about having a torch on each hip bone. They're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. We're relaxing through the shoulders so they're away from the ears. The chest is nice and open. Your weight is evenly placed through your feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. And just start to gently tighten in the tummy. From here, as you breathe out, you're going to tuck the pelvis under, so you're flattening your lower back into the mat. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding. Releasing out. So with that tucked under position, you want to get a nice strong flat back. We're using just the pelvis and the tummy muscles to move. So try and avoid squeezing your bottom. On this next one, we're holding our flat backs. You're tucking under to hold. Whilst we're here, we're going to start to tighten in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. And we're going to halve this contraction. So 50% tightening on the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. Still keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. And if you are feeling tense in the upper body, just turn your palms up towards the ceiling. tummy all the way down towards the spine, keeping that weight even through the feet. So big toe, little toe, and heel. We're going to half one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. So this should feel like a very gentle lifting. Something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So this should feel like something you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. Your flat back should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. From there, you're gluing your legs together, lifting them up into tabletop. So think knee above the hip, shin is parallel to the ceiling. Both legs lifted and they're glued together. We're going to tip both legs over to the side, releasing one hip from the floor. Inhale to the center. Swapping sides, tipping over. And center. Tipping over. And center. So although you've got one hip releasing from the floor, you're keeping both shoulders in contact with your mat. Using your tummy muscles to take the legs over to the side. Bring them back into the center. And then swapping sides. So making sure as you come into the center, you're finding that flat back position. Use your tummy, use your pelvic floor. Take nice deep breaths. Let's take two more on each side, tipping over and center. Tipping over and center. Last one on each side, tipping over and center. Tipping over and center. Hugging the knees in towards your chest. And then we're going onto our hands and knees to stretch through the back. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Tummy's nice and tightened. As you breathe out, you're tucking the pelvis under, so you're curving the back, arching the spine, dropping the head. Holding here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let the pelvis go back to your start position. Working through the spine. Lifting the head. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. And the head lifts. So we want to get lots of movement through the back. Working into each section piece by piece. So if you do have any areas of your back that are feeling really stiff or sore, just slow them down. Think of moving each vertebrae one by one. So as we're curving the back, we're pulling the tummy all the way in. As you release to your start position, let the shoulders come away from your ears. We've got 2 more here. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. Last one here, tucking under. Curving the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. From here we're going back into a shell stretch position. So bottom to the feet, arms reach out in front. From there we're going to be on our sides, so doing our chest opening stretch. Getting those knees glued together and bent. Can grab a cushion or something. Lay on your side, take those arms out. Nice and long, palm to palm. So we're going to lift the top arm up, so your fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you. You're twisting away. Holding here, take a nice stretch before lifting back up and over. Coming down palm to palm. The top arm lifts, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over, coming down palm to palm. So we want those legs nice and glued together and grounded, keeping the twist through your waist. The arm stays long. You're reaching from the fingertips all the way into your armpit. Nice deep breaths. You shouldn't be holding your breath at any point. You're looking at your hands for as long as you can. So keeping that good range of movement through the neck. I'm going to take 2 more on this side, lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over, coming down palm to palm. And again, lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over, coming down palm to palm. From here we're going on to the other side. So you need the same position through your body. So knees are bent, legs are stacked on top of one another. Resting down, arms are nice and long and in front, palm to palm. So we're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding here, taking your stretch before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. Top arm lifts, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So remember, legs are glued together. Getting that twist through the waist. Really open up in the chest. Arm is reaching long from the fingertips all the way into your armpit. Looking at that hand for as long as you can. Let's take 2 more here, lifting up. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Lifting up and over. Coming down palm to palm. Last time, lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Coming back up and over. Down palm to palm. Rolling onto your back, take a full body stretch. If you need to, grab a drink, but we are staying on our backs. So laying down flat on the floor with your knees bent, feet on your mat, and you want to be in a neutral position. So you've got that little curve underneath your lower back. Arms are resting down beside you. We're taking a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor, reach the arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down to your mat. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching the arms. We hold. Control back down. So you're using your tummy muscles to lift you. You're pulling your belly button all the way down. Your chin to chest position is there to keep the neck nice and relaxed. So think big nod of the head, then use the tummy to lift you. We're tightening in the pelvic floor. And using that reaching of your arms to get your shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breath, so try not to hold your breath at any point. We're going to take 2 more here, then change the arms. This is your last one, chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching the arms. We hold. Control back down. So we're going to add in a little pulse. So we're actually not really changing the arms, if I'm honest with you. So we're still going to go chin to chest. lifting the shoulders off. From here, you're doing those 3 pulses we've done before. So you're pulsing up, 2, 3, control back down. Chin to chest, lifting up. We pulse, pulse, pulse. Control back down. You can support your head here if you want to. Remember, your hands are behind your head, not on your neck. And it's the same thing, chin to chest, lifting up. Pulse, 2, 3, control back down. Chin to chest, lifting up. We push. 2, 3, control back down. So those little pulses, you're tightening a little bit more in the tummy each time. You're keeping your chin to chest position. And breathing. Don't hold your breath there. Keep the pelvic floor working. Let's take 2 more here. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders. We pulse. 2, 3. Control back down. Last time here, nod the head. Lift the shoulders. Pulsing up. 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 Control back down. You're hugging both knees in towards your chest. And once you've finished having that stretch, we're coming up to a knelt position. If you're uncomfortable kneeling and you'd rather lay on your front, then you can do that. It's laying on your front with your arms mat width apart, hands in line with your ears. If you want a drink, then grab one. So coming into your kneeling position, you can always have something underneath the knees if that does help to keep you comfortable. And you can either have those feet laying flat on the floor, or if you know you cramp up quite a lot, tuck those toes under, which will help to just lengthen out those calves a little bit. So you're kneeling up tall through your body, but what you want to do is have your shoulders down and a really slight tuck in with that chin so that you're not flinging the head backwards. Resting the arms down beside you. Keep your knees quite close together. Tighten through that tummy. As you breathe in, you're going to start to lean back. Exhale, squeeze your bottom. Drive yourself forwards. Leaning back. Squeeze. Pushing forwards. We're leaning back. Squeeze. To come back up. So use the squeeze and the breath out to force yourself back up. Squeeze to lift up. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Remember, chin to chest. So this is a small lean. You shouldn't be leaning as far as you can. Think of it more like a little warm up. Starting to fire up those legs, with the tummy and the bottom working together. Let's take 2 more here. Leaning back, squeeze to lift. Last one, leaning back, squeeze to lift. As you relax there, just bring yourself into a shell stretch, so bottom to your feet, and reach those arms out in front. Then we're going on to our backs for the 100. So I'll talk you through what we're doing. You're going to be laying down on the floor in a flat back position, so you're nice and tucked under. So finding that flat back, make sure it's nice and strong. I'll talk you through, then we'll go all together. You're then going to be lifting both of your legs up from the floor, but you're going to be lengthening them. So instead of coming to tabletop, which is knee over the hip, shin parallel to the ceiling, you're then lengthening your legs. So your legs will reach up as high as they can to the ceiling. If you need to keep a little bit of bend through your knees to make you more comfortable, then you can do that. It doesn't matter if your legs aren't completely straight. We're just looking for the longest position that you can maintain. From there, you can either leave your head resting back if your neck gets sore, or you can go chin to chest, lift those shoulders off, your arms are long and your palms are facing the floor. We're going to be beating our arms up and down for 100 repetitions. So 5 as you breathe in, and 5 as you breathe out. So the arms will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. From there, both hands come behind your head, and you're going into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards the legs. So we're going to be coming up and down. Sit-ups here. After we finish those 2 sets of 8, you're relaxing your head down, flat on the floor, arms will be down beside you. Your legs should still be in that long position, and you're going into crisscrosses with your legs. So they'll be crisscrossing up like this. If your knees are bent, then it's just the bottom of your legs that will crisscross, but it's the same thing. You've got 2 sets of 8 there, then we will relax and go into a full body stretch. I'll talk you through everything. So find that strong flat back position, nice and tucked under. When you're ready, lift your legs and lengthen them as much as you can. If you're lifting your upper body, nod the head. Lift those shoulders off, get the arms nice and long. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying there. Hands behind your head. You've got your sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting your head down there. Rest your arms down beside you. Keeping those legs long. You're going to crisscross for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax down there. Bring yourself into a nice full body stretch. Reaching long and away. And then you can bring yourself up to sitting. So in a seated position, we're going to bring our legs into this kind of frog pose that we usually stretch in. Or if you're not comfortable in that position, a really loose crossed leg. Doesn't matter which leg is in front. So we're going to go into our lean backs. We usually do these with bent legs and the feet on the floor, but we're just changing them up. So you're going to be sitting up nice and tall through the body. You can just have the arms nice and relaxed or lifted up in front, whatever is more comfortable for you. I like to have mine just resting on my legs, to be honest. As you breathe out, you're going to pull your tummy in to curve your back and start to lean away from your legs. You won't be able to move as far here with your legs in this position, so it's quite a small and subtle movement. Holding there, take a deep breath in. Holding that curve for your body, lift yourself up, and here you can really stretch forwards over those legs. And then just sit yourself up nice and tall through the spine. So curving the back, slightly lean away. Holding here. Lifting up. Stretch all the way over if you can. And then getting that nice stacked position through the spine, lifting the head. Then we're going again, curve and lean away. Just keeping it nice and small with holding here. Lifting ourselves up and over before restacking the spine. That's it, nice and tall. So you still want to really use the tummy, but we're concentrating more on the shape of our back, so that really nice curved position. Holding that curve to come all the way up and stretch forwards. This stretch should feel quite nice. And then you want to really articulate as you restack one on top of the other and lift the head. So you still want the shoulders to be relaxed. They're not lifting up to your ears, but as you curve, they will start to curve forwards. They don't lift, they curve. Taking nice deep breaths. So this movement is quite slow, so you can really take your time with your breath, get it nice and controlled. I don't mind if your breathing is different to mine. Just try and make sure that you're not holding that breath. Still keeping the tummy and the pelvic floor working. We're going to take 2 more of these, curving back, dropping that head. Holding there, lift yourself up and over before restacking the spine to sit nice and tall, ready to go again. Curve and lean away. Holding here, lifting up and over, and restacking through the spine. Relaxing there. Good, okay. We're then going to take our legs into a cross if you didn't have them already, to do our walks forwards. If you did have them crossed, start the other way. If you didn't, then pick whichever is your favourite. So try and keep it in quite a tight cross-legged position if you can, so that you're making sure you're getting that length. But if you know your knees or your hips don't like that, then just bring it a little bit looser. So we're going to be walking those hands forwards. This is a really good one for our breath. It's become one of my new favourites. Just as far as you can, and dropping that head. We're holding here, taking those nice deep breaths in now, filling up the lungs. Taking a really deep breath in. As you breathe out, creep those hands forwards. So I want you to be breathing so deeply that you can feel the rise and the fall of your body as you're doing so. Really relax the head. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, creep those arms forwards. Still keeping that head drop, but just holding here this time, nice deep breaths. Just start to walk those hands slowly in. Bring yourself up to seated. And just switch the legs the other way around. Again, tighten or a little bit looser if you can. That's comfortable. We're doing exactly the same thing. So when I say about the rise and fall of your body, you should feel your body lifting up and coming back down with that inhale and exhale. Really fill yourself up with air. So here we go again. Walk those hands forwards. Dropping that head. Taking those deep breaths in that, breathing in. And out. Breathing in. And out. Take that breath in. As you breathe out, walk the hands forward. Breathing in. And out. Breathing in. And out. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, walking forwards. Holding here, just nice deep breaths in and out. Just start to walk those hands back in. Sitting up nice and tall. If you are feeling a little bit lightheaded, just take a moment, grab a drink. And then we're going into our stretch, so getting those frog's legs position again. Soles of the feet together, knees are wide, hips are open. Draw up yourself forwards. If you want to increase that stretch, you're pushing your elbows into your legs, pulling yourself forwards. Good. From here, we're going to go on to our sides and work through the legs. So we're going to start with the legs bent and together. So we're going to do our clown position. I'm just going to grab a drink. Sorry about that. Find our clown position. Laying down. Remember that you can either have your arm reaching out long to rest your head on, or bend the elbow and rest your head in your hand. Whichever you find the most comfortable. It doesn't really matter too much until right near the end. Resting down here. Remember, if you suffer from sore hips, you're rolling a towel up and wrapping it around the outside of the hip. Hand is coming on top of your top hip. And that's there to just keep the legs, the hips, sorry, really secure. To just make sure that's not going anywhere. Keep those feet glued together, and we're going to be lifting the top knee up. Control back down. Lifting up. Control back down. So you're opening up through the legs. You're keeping those hips secure. Nice deep breaths. Got 4 more here. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Bringing those legs out nice and long. So, same as always, going to flex those feet, look down. If you can see those toes, then you know your legs are in the right position. If you can't bring the legs slightly further forwards, just use that top hand again, but this time to check that your hip is right on top and you're not leaning back or leaning forwards. You can also see that from looking down your body. Then this top arm can just be placed down beside you for balance. So we're going to be lifting that top leg up, pointed, for legs to come back down. Point to lift, for legs to come back down. So you're working through the ankle, pushing from the flex and the pointed position. Just to hip height. Try and zip up underneath this waist, so still working through the tummy. Breathe. Let's take 4 more here, lifting up, legs to come down, lifting up, legs to come down, last 2, lifting up, flex down, lift up, flex down. So going into our leg circles, lift that top leg up, no higher than the hip height, circling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting that leg down. We're going to do a new one now that we haven't done before. So for this one, you're going to lift your top leg up and you're going to have it flex. This is going to be swinging forwards and back. So we've done lifting up and down, which we will continue with after. This one we're coming back and forth. You again don't want to lose the hips. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the leg back as far as you can, maintain that hip stability, and then we're going to be coming forwards, forwards. So it's like a little kick pulse, which should take your leg further, but again, the hip stays nice and still. So you're not going to be going like back and forwards and moving the whole body around, keeping nice and stabilised. So you can place that hand on top of the hip and go between the floor and the hip if you need to. So flex the top foot, bring the leg back. You won't have a lot of movement there. Then you're going to push forwards, forwards and in. Back, forwards, forwards, in. Try and keep it lifted the whole time. Back, kick, kick and in. Back, kick, kick and in. Back, kick, kick and in. 2 more here. Back, kick, kick and in. Last one. Back, kick, kick and in. Rest that leg down. So that's a bit of a weird one because you're using a different range of movement, and trying to keep those hips still is quite difficult, but it's good to get that control through the movement in your leg. So back to lifting and lowering. This time we're lifting that top leg up just to hip height. Bottom leg comes to meet it. We come back down. Lift, lift and down. Remember to breathe. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. 4 more. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Last 2. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. We're going into our upper body and lower body lift. So here is where, if you are supporting your head in your hand, you'll need to come down into that long arm position. So you're pressing down into the long arm that's on the floor to help to lift the upper body. And you want there to be some space underneath your armpit where you're lifting up. So don't just lift the head. Ideally, we want that hand on top of the hip, but you can place it down for balance if you need to. So it's a little double lift of the legs, get the upper body off. Let's see how we go. So we're lifting up and down, up and down. Lift up and down, up and down. 4 more. Lift up and down, up and down. Last two, lift and down, lift and down. We're swapping sides. Ooh, grab a drink if you do need one before changing sides. So we're starting off with those clams. So you can come with those knees bent, feet together, either laying on top of your arm or resting your head into your hand. So remember, you want to get those hips nice and steady. So holding on to the top one, and we're going to start to open up and down, open up and down. Don't forget to breathe, lifting up, down, lifting up, down. 4 more, lifting up and down, lifting up and down. Last 2, lift up and down, lifting up and down. Come into that long position, flex those feet, look down the body. If you can see the toes, then you're in the right position. If not, bring the legs slightly further forwards. Getting those hips one on top of the other so you're not laying back or forwards. Staying nice and stacked. Remember, you can use this top arm to rest down and give you balance here. So we're lifting up, the top leg comes up pointed, flex to come back down. Point to lift, flexing down. So remember, we're really working on that movement through the ankle. Keeping the tummy tight and zipping up underneath the waist, working the sides of our body. We've got 2 more here. Lifting up and down, lifting up and down. We've got those leg circles, so lifting to hip height. Coming forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we're going to come into our forwards and backwards. So remember, that foot is flexed, the hips stay nice and stabilised. We're coming back, kick, kick and in. Keep the leg lifted, coming back, kick, kick and in. Foot is flexed, back, kick, kick and in, back, kick, kick and in. 2 more, coming back, kick, kick and in, coming back, kick, kick and in. Relaxing down, lifting the top leg up just to hip height, bottom leg meets it, coming back down together, lifting up, up and down, lifting up, up and down, lifting up, up and down, up, up and down. Last 2, lift up, up and down, up, up and down. Double lifts, coming up and down, up and down, up and down, lift and low. 4 more, up and down, up and down. Last 2, lift and down, lift and down. If you are supporting your head higher, rest yourself back down, pressing into that long arm to lift some of the upper body away. So underneath the armpit along, don't just lift the head, double leg lifts. Coming up and down, lift and down, breathe and down, lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. Last 2, lift and down, lift and down. Roll onto your back, take a full body stretch. And then we're coming onto our hands and knees. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. my nose. So as you come onto your hands and knees, we're going to go into our tucked under position with the toes. So hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We haven't really done any work on the hands yet today, but if you do know they're really sore, just drop down to your forearms, which will give them a nice rest. So as you breathe out, you're going to pull your tummy in to lift your knees from the floor. Just an inch or so. Inhale down. So you're pressing down to lift. Inhale down. Exhale to lift up and down. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Just make sure you're not dropping the head or lifting the head up too much. So if you're on long arms, look past those fingertips. If you're on your forearms, look down to your mat. 4 more here, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2, lift up and down. Lifting up and down. Relaxing there and roll through those wrists. Good, we're going to do our side planks again. So I'll give you a quick talk through and then we'll get going, just for those who haven't joined in yet this week. So if you've never done side planks before, or you're not very confident with them, you're bringing both legs bent, so you're kind of starting off sitting on your hip. You won't be there for long, so if that hip is sore, don't worry. We're going to go on our forearm because it can be quite uncomfortable. It's a lot of pressure going through that one wrist if you're on long arms. So basically what you're thinking about the whole time, no matter which variation I show you that you use, is you're driving your hips up as high as you can. If you're on, if you're with bent knees, then what you're going to be doing is pressing into the lower leg, pressing into the forearm, pushing those hips up, trying to have the hand on the top hip if you can, and back down. And that's all the movement is, pushing up and down. The next level up from there is to take the top leg out nice and long, and here you're pushing down into that foot, either with a flat foot or onto the side of the foot, whichever you feel more comfortable with, and again into the lower part of the bottom leg and the forearm to drive those hips up. The next step up from that is both legs are long with one foot on the floor flat, and again you'll drive those hips up. It's completely up to you which one you use. You're only going up and holding for a breath. So even if I freeze, which I know happened to somebody yesterday, come back down and go again. Just don't hold it forever. They're hard work if you're doing that, okay? So from here, choose which variation you want to use. Hand on the hip if you can. We're going to be driving those hips up. Take a breath in. Exhale down. We're driving up. And coming down. So you can take these in your own time. If you want to hold it a little bit longer, challenge yourself, but then you should be taking your side plank to the next level up. Driving those hips up and down. Lift and down. Let's take 2 more here. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Relaxing there. I'm going to change sides, just give that arm a little shake. Same again on this side, you can either have both legs bent, one leg bent, one leg long, or both legs long. It's exactly the same as the last side. You're driving your hips up high. We're on the forearm. So again, pushing down into your feet, your legs and your arm to drive those hips up and down. Lifting up and down, lifting up and down. Keep the tummy tightened, lifting up and down. 2 more here, lifting up and down. Last one. Lifting up and down, relaxing there. You can go onto your back for a full body stretch if you need to. So we're going to come into some stretches. So for our stretches today, we're going to be taking one knee underneath your hip and the other leg in front. Take your foot slightly at a diagonal angle. So we've done this one before. Hands just on the hips if you can. If you need to hold on to something, then do that. You're going to push your hips under so that this knee is over your heel and this knee is at a diagonal angle to your hips. Stretching into this hip socket. Just holding that stretch here. Taking some nice deep breaths. If you're feeling confident enough to, bring one hand down to the floor. So I think opposite hand to the leg that's lifted. And that's just there for a bit of support, then you can increase that stretch. Just use your other hand to make sure that your knee isn't starting to push out to the side. So it's just there for support. And from here, tuck that back toe under. Good, relaxing there. We're going to swap sides. So one knee under the hip, the other foot forwards. Just start to lean into the front leg. So the knee is over the heel, back leg, the knee is diagonal to the hip. Staying really upright through the chest. Nice deep breaths. And if you can, just bring that hand down beside the leg, using this hand on the knee to make sure that your leg doesn't move. I don't know if you can see from there, if I let go, my leg will naturally want to roll outwards. So that hand is just there to keep the knee in place. So just increasing that stretch. Just tucking the back toes under. Relaxing there. From there, bring yourself into a kneeling or a standing position. Ready to just go into our shoulder rolls back. Control that breathing. And shoulder rolls forwards. Then the arms are coming out to the side. So we're lifting all the way up. And then we're going to stretch over. Coming back into the centre, we're swapping sides, lifting up, stretching over. So lengthening the side of the body. Come back up, swapping sides, lift up. And over. Back to the centre, last time, lift. Stretching over and relaxing there. You are done for today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope those of you that have joined in for a few this week are starting to find those side planks a little bit easier. If you are already on the full side plank and you want to make it more challenging, drop me a message and I'll let you know some things that you can add in. Or if you have any other questions about the side plank, of course, again, just message me. I hope you all have a lovely day. Take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.